Please adjust your sitting posture according to the 7 meditative postures of Vairocana. Think, all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers, not just once, but numberless times. All sentient beings are as kind as my mother in this life. Even though all kind mother sentient beings want happiness and do not even want a small suffering, due to mistakenly engaging in objects of adoptions and objects of abandonment, they do not experience any happiness, but suffering. In our minds, sincerely cultivate loving kindness towards all kind mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings were to have excellent happiness and the causes of excellent happiness that are virtues. May they have excellent happiness and its causes. I'll cause them to be free. I'll cause them to have excellent happiness and its causes. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
They just going to some to that time. She doing it, doing it, Jim. Give her that kind of Jim. Do what you do. What I'm saying, what is it? Lama like Shinji Lodosu. It's never Jim.
Next, we cultivate compassion towards all suffering mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if all mother sentient beings were free from all sufferings and the causes of suffering that are non-virtues. May they be free from all sufferings and its causes. I will cause them to be free from all suffering and its causes. Lama deity, please bless me to be able to do so.
They just doing it. Since that time, she called it. So good to do. Because of the budget that you was. Yeah, that was it. So you can go and do it. But it didn't. But somebody, yeah, that was it. So you know, since the time you so you can go and do it. Didn't get to the show. What was it about the charge you say?
Next, we cultivate bodhicitta. First, we ask ourselves, who should take the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and lower realms? I should take the responsibility. Even though I should take the responsibility, I do not have the ability to place them in the state of perfect, complete enlightenment now. Who has such ability? Those perfect, complete Buddhas have the abilities. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, by all means, I will achieve the precious state of enlightenment.
到不过的，你记得他的，刚才要么这个让去这个东安营，他不是东班的出去上大学。
Next, we meditate on emptiness for a short while. The self and the aggregates neither exist as inherently one nor as inherently different. Thus, is empty of inherent existence.
对一跟我就是一件事情，长期跟上级碰到的吧，也许的到当地去什么样的持续的一件事情的碰到这个，我觉得是。
Set a good motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this, I will listen to the holy teaching and practice properly in order to benefit sentient beings.
后面这个所见到我的年龄上面两点八许多多，到经济年龄上面两点八许多多，对吧？那确实可看了年纪低的显一点，年到大且刚等的，确实这个工作上，大等到了行业点越能升吧，也到提升，现在这个多，的确是。
So we begin with the outline, which is discarding the sole accomplishment for one's own welfare. Discarding the accomplishment for one's own welfare after contemplating the drawbacks. So here, drawbacks refers to the drawbacks of self-cherishing. So discarding the accomplishment for one's own welfare after contemplating the drawbacks of self-cherishing. And under this outline is verse 169 and first two lines of 170. That previous time when you could overcome me is different. I see it, and now wherever you go, I shall destroy all your arrogance. Even now, may I cast aside the intention thinking about my own welfare.
这个简单的，到经济的话，看到让基本到经济的路，确实变得，可对面的当。我本来当我国当的时候，他被我让我国当的这样被对面的，也把趋势被对面的当的也被那我国当话的是，他这种单单的说的你也把根据早应，你嘛也把根据早应把我嘛些把我是的的是，因为这样个也把根据早应把我嘛些呢，就这样个本来我国当的他对面的都是，忙不去出来当啥的是，他的路多，那地点也比早嘛些把的是，地先进的是，一个地先进的是。但你比早，但你这种别你把个早应帮你写出来，但这种人如果当初个嘛的是，那都是嘛那个的，但这种人如果当初个嘛的，这种你把个早应帮你我写出来的是，我写出来就是吧，我写出来，我搞的是呢，那特别清楚第心里了，第个定了第呢，那让经济从卷，搞的有没，这种个往个卷搞的有没，是吧？这种个卷搞的能你写出来的是。这种，大家看到这看到这个就是让要么的事，看到这这种让要么的事是吧？那到经济去让没有事，那到经济去了个呗，你是上了的历史的是他把那是给是在那里，这样个俺千万斤是本俺来他把千万没事，俺来他把千万没事，等等俺这块，俺贵呢他把的是呗，我看你那厂嘛，俺贵呢他把的这等等这个这块谁听这块。那被根据是看见我土马的是，那通过是看见要马的是，这就还在被谁这把这个就情况就是，那得早晚的用不着，不是的，这那爸爸说过了，这把是我这么谁看的这把的，这等这些的时候啊，俺吃俺来吃没啥，俺不能踏实了，等这把，俺根据土马的是看见俺拉黑嘛土马的时候，等这个这把的那用不着，我是。这个用不着，我是这里的看到了。
Tangi andi lama di katin la tene re. Lama gewishin la tene. So that previous time of not knowing the root of all faults, when you, self-cherishing, could overcome me, is a different time during which I did not know the root of faults. So here it refers to a previous in the past. I do not know that you are the root of all faults, and you self-cherishing, you overcome me. So and yeah, and you overcome me. However, now it's different. So now I see that you are the root of all faults due to the kindness of spiritual friends. So now I see that you are the root of all faults, and now wherever you go to produce faults, I shall destroy from the root all arrogance from you. So now you have no freedoms to go wherever you want, and I will not get deceived by you again. And then I shall destroy from the root all arrogance of you. So I will destroy I will destroy the root of all your arrogance. So the arrogance here is the arrogance of inflated mind or puffing up mind. So this arrogance of puffing up mind or inflated minds is something like thinking that I'm great and no one is greater than me, and I surpass all of others, and no one can subjugate me, no one can overcome me. So such arrogance of puffing up mind shall be destroyed. So self-cherishing without you having the power to proceed anywhere. And even now, may I cast aside the intention thinking that I have the power to accomplish solely my own welfare. I should not engage in doing so, even in the slightest. So this arrogance of inflated mind should be eliminated.
他们的技能说，这大都让给到今天这个让给干到去，就不往那个历史的吧，多学些，历史的吧多学，历史的经济上有什么反应嘛？也是他们说。
So even now, may I cast aside the intention thinking I have the power to act to accomplish solely my own welfare. So I will cast aside this intention thinking that I have the freedom or I have the power to accomplish only my own welfare. So this intention I will cast aside and I will not engage in doing so even in the slightest.
这就了，咱兄弟了就话是吧？他的先了去中的，就我们是学家不是，他的把你去年去生前呢，那些呢，就是可那玩意什么呢？新的也是。
Next outline is application for others' welfare. Under this outline is next two lines of verse 170 and 171. Say, by having sold you to others without becoming discouraged, may I offer sustenance. If having become non-conscientious, I do not give you to all living beings, then it is certain that you will deliver me to the guardians of the hells. By the knowledge that I have sold you to other sentient beings without becoming discouraged, may I offer whatever sustenance is desired by sentient beings. So here it says that whatever ability of my three doors. So I have given it to all sentient beings, and including you, self-cherishing. So I have sold you to sentient being, all sentient being. I have sold you to other sentient beings as well. That you should know that that you have been sold to other sentient beings, and then may I offer, without becoming discouraged, may I offer whatever sustenance is desired by sentient beings, means that whatever ability I have. So sustenance here refers to whatever ability I have, whatever strength whatever strength I have, I shall offer it to sentient beings, as I shall offer it to sentient beings as desired by them.
다 가데 와 가데 란데 바시 생기 밤에 버전에서 간다 추지로 추지 간다 가데 제만년이 그 밤에 버져봐다 태양스 전에 랑진지 쳐와 랑진지 진지 쳐로 그 생제나라 파 마지나로 거와 랑진지 생제나라 마지바이나 다 추지 단도 디파 차침바 산에 그 냐와라마 신고하기 니 간두스와 chope chichi pipa taru sachi masani to ko hani pe nyawala ma sumara ma shiyagi nge chadus ne chuna pa wa pe da chinzi pa dis na pe da chinzi chopa yomba sha rang tenda rang bipa te pa ta yomba ta pa ka go res kada de yomba cha wo se wa te pa yomba cha wo se wo de shi ta ne ka ni lo de.
So I shall offer whatever sustenance or whatever abilities I have is to sentient beings and accomplish their purposes. So if having thought only of my own welfare and become non-conscientious, I do not give you to sentient beings, then due to accumulating actions of negativity, it is certain that you will deliver me to the guardians of the hells. Hence, I should destroy you, self-cherishing. So in case if my mindfulness degenerates and I fall under the control of self-cherishing and do not give myself to sentient beings, and due to falling under the control of you, self-cherishing, I will accumulate negativities, and you will definitely deliver me to the hells, to the guardians of the hell, and I will experience sufferings there. So therefore, I will destroy you, self-cherishing, and I will stop myself from accomplishing my own welfare. Yeah, I will stop myself from accomplishing solely my own welfare. So next outline is brief indication. Under this outline is verse 172, says, "For ages have you delivered me like this, whereby I have suffered lengthily. Now, recalling all my grudges, I shall overcome your intentions of self-purpose."
이것이 고 여기 소말마 신바레스 여기 소말마 신이다 유리고 그 등한 용지에도 저랑 세바레스 다친지 저랑 세바레스 와 다다니 이다다는 소리서 보라 다다다는데 저렇게 뭔가 집에 나 등아 녀야 하기 풍야 아기 풍나시더라 풍나시더라 나다 이게 참 앞에 강에 등에 용지야 저서 먹이야 단다 세냐 전바치 저랑 집에 두자치야 등에 세냐 등에 땅이 최종으로 뒤 나야가 최종으로 모토가 하고 살아서 운동 말이지 지금 디나야 말이지 와 디나야 뭔가 니 하고 살이지 와 네바 저와 취지도는데 바시 셈바서 봐네 런데 바시 셈바 때파 또 그래서 와이 저런게 현대시 봐 맞추는 그래서 취지 런데 셈바 때파 좀 봐도 런데 바시 두어 때파 돈이 내 현대 두어 봐 그래서 저 그래서 내가 와
For ages have you delivered me to the hell guardians like this in the past, whereby I have experienced suffering lengthily. So here talks about self-cherishing have delivered us to the hell guardians in the past, and because of you, I experienced suffering in hell for a long time. Now, recalling all my past grudges. So recalling all my past grudges means that those ruin, those destruction, those ruin, and those difficulties that you, self-cherishing, have brought me. And now I recall all of these past grudges, and I shall overcome your intentions to perform solely self-purpose, the roots of all faults. So uh, I will, so I will overcome your intentions to perform only my own welfare and uh, accomplish others. I will stop this, and I shall accomplish others' welfare.
That was the reason they done Gandenas, Rana, that government shas. They did done Sundana, they send out the Suma chassis, but the Zig in the Windows.
Through stopping my own welfare, through stopping the accomplishment of my own welfare, and I shall accomplish others' welfare. And under the same outline, verse 173 says, however, if I wish to be happy, I should not be happy with myself. However, if I wish to be protected, I should constantly protect others.
It is a country. But they done it. You they cannot get the pieces of one. Then I am. They cannot pay. Run out the cheapers and want to go. Watch out the cheapers and the yes. Then got it. Danny Roa, I did Danny Sipam Hui do not Tedalia. Soon do not say what. Hui Sipam Hui do not Tedalia. Soon the Viona. This is some chicken. Cheapers and the guitar to some chicken. So yes. 이따도 성질된다 소화자고 yes 와 간다 다기 아니 베시번 거의 동안이야 대단이야 순간도 우연 하세요 근데 여기 봐이나 왜 성질된다 제바서 힘 성질이라 제바서 뒤따도 성질된다 따도 소화자고 yes
However, if I wish to be happy, well, and prosperous for a long time, I should not be happy with cherishing myself. So if I wish to be happy, then I shouldn't be happy with cherishing myself, or I shouldn't be happy through cherishing myself. And however, if I wish to be protected from suffering, so if I wish to be protected from samsaric suffering, then I should constantly protect other sentient beings through cherishing them. Next outline is the drawbacks of craving for the body. Under this outline is verse 174, says, to whatever degree I take great care of this body, to that degree I shall fall into a state of extreme anxiety.
你去对吧？你把送上，那还叫降高啊修，搞来搞我的是对吧？降高修的也是我。
So in opinion, opinion, out of the wish to enact others' welfare, I should take care of this body with craving. So here, this opinion talks about, in order to, out of the wish to enact others' welfare, so I should take care of this body with craving. So in response to this opinion, it says that is inappropriate. To whatever degree I take great care of this body with food, clothes, and the like, due to cherishing it with craving, to that degree, great suffering will occur, even though I will not accomplish the slightest desire and shall fall into a state of extreme anxiety in which I cannot bear even slight suffering, whereby it will be extremely difficult to take care of it. So if someone says that, or out of the wish to enact others' welfare, so I should take care of this body with craving. So, and this is inappropriate because if you were to take care of this body with craving, then by providing food, clothes, and etc. to this body, then to that degree, one will experience a suffering. So even if one experience a small suffering, one will find that small suffering, one will find that suffering intolerable because of small patience, and don't mention a great suffering that one will experience due to taking great care of this body with craving. Under the same outline, verse 175 says, having fallen in this way, if desires are unable to be fulfilled, even by everything upon this earth, what else will be able to fulfill desires of that?
다치데 간다치게 하자 장가와 인지 제리 중앙치 된주에 이나 그때다 동안때야 세바스로와 이게 세바 레바라 페레로와 이 세바 레바 페레 근데 비슷한데 기타 간다페 조심해 받으러와 네피로와 네피기 스타팅데 이때다 뭔지 칸지 지장 딱 간다 안 잡아줘봐 신이봐 요 말이스로와 잡아줘봐 신이봐 가라요세 가라요 되니 내가 이나야 that's it, but the Japan most Zoba. That's three shitty there. In the era, Sepa the Mom Siba Mumba Mevara. That's your Kanda, Mumba Mevanda de Roa. Zerich, the Zichua is Kora, Roa, the leader Hajan Tankwa, Zichua, the Digis, Roa, Zichua. This the Nikazi Chamba in the Sepa champion of this. Hela, the Japan, we tell a giant, the Sepa the champion of this. Sepa champion in the Kazi Chamba in a Kochoma. 조기 재미시 버리겠어 와 조기 재미시 버리겠어 이 비료와는就是你비료와는 보다 example 이라서 비슷한데 탄지 용서 강이 봐 농지로와 용서 강이 농지 탄지 용서 거기 근데 저번 이번 저번에 요 말이스 와 이번 나야 요바 미나야 요 말와 메나야 아 메나 단데 받침부 치료와 대신에 악천데 받침부디 내가 단지 수익 좀 버시니 수자다 촌데 내가 전부 들리지 다 촌데 봐 줘야 수익 제도고 그랬다 간다 다 수익 제도고 말이스 다 빼도 맞게식으로 내가 들리죠 내가 다 수건지 좀 제도고 말이스 다 간다로 빼지식으로
Quam, so what will happen? Response, having fallen in this way, if out of desire due to a considerable increase of craving, desires are unable to be fulfilled even by every enjoyment upon this earth, what else will be able to fulfill desires of that craving? Craving for desirable objects cannot possibly be satisfied. So if we were to take care of this body with craving, it will cause by doing so it will cause the craving to increase, and when a craving increases, it will so one will not have this satisfaction. So when craving increases, then one will not have satisfaction. So if one do not have satisfaction, so even all the resources or objects of enjoyment in this earth cannot fulfill such craving. So when craving increases, then one will lack satisfaction. When one lacks satisfaction, then everything in this world or every resources in this world cannot fulfill that desire, cannot fulfill that satisfaction. So uh, one become one become mm, and sorry, Nehemia. So maybe you need to mute. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So then one will become insatiable. Uh, so no one in this world will be able to fulfill such a great desire or such a great craving.
我的背小很多，他讲的但是我去马去把人家说，他在上班里头说，被那些就是被长期被用是做不的，他讲的是个路你不得想说，用去用是做不，这是讲的你嘛就朝鲜面了，被那脚步管理的，那脚步管理的，脚步找办他也是印度啊，脚步管理的脚步找办他也是印度，人家讲的另些个被说，他另些个打不，接的单独我要嘛的是。 我把초시 제어 막 딱한다 초시 말씀으로 와 민식이 때 다부지네 우리 용지할 때 나도 그런 거예요 말 나야 간이 양자 먹어 봐 가르쳤으나 타요 뭐 제신지 용지래야 솔래 때 용지네 용지 버데 단도 돼야 거예요 말했어 단도 돼야 거예요 말했어 단도 돼 먹어 봐 노로지 가지나 먹어 봐 타라페는 먹어 봐 대인간에 뜻세리기 막 세번이 쉬어야겠어 我们没把修了，嘛的，但看到我的些给我买的是快的，我们没把这些分修了是，这个嘛分修了是，对不对？我们把今年还讲，必须得把今年真的修了给我买的是，但是说确实嘛，基本上对了我话，那确实基本上看到是说看的呢，确实差的呢，确实基本上，确实基本上是老往去看的呢，中国价值基本上去过的是。 是中国叫谁看了啥人当嘛就呢？出去结果呢，中国人是，中国人是，啊，一起中国家的时候，看了中国家伙呢，看了中国家伙，中国家伙是说农经当吧，说叫农经当吧，等等去，进来出去结果呢，那个呢，是中国家的是，我特别变着对，咱们里怕去看的时候，那个，等等去要把
农具的出去有那咯，
出去有，出去有呢，出去有就是我被中国人是嘛。 我的，那朝鲜没把人那时候，那从朝鲜没把人那，那临时的被太阳把节庆老师把等那个勇士都把农机参满了被，是说的被让我要把农机接一个外人那样，但都朝鲜没呢，就是中国东巴那些东啊那些等那些地方嘛都，你给查全部给查要嘛的是，但都这些强势要把人呢，但被中国家嘛身上那些，中国东的上东南那些嘛都，但都被全部查给要嘛的是的。
So without satisfaction, nothing or no resources in this world can fulfill such craving. So even if one were to take ownership of 4 continents, then one will not be satisfied with it. So and end up one will end up one will die without satisfaction. So if one do not have any satisfaction, even though you may have owned 4 continents, then you will die without satisfaction. So here there is an example in the commentary. It says, for example, it is just as it has been taught that King Mandata was not satisfied by even having enjoyed the 4 continents and half of Indra's seat. So this King Mandata, so even though he enjoyed the 4 continents and even enjoyed half of Indra's seat, then he didn't have any, he didn't feel satisfied, or he did not have satisfaction. And so so then this King Mandata then died without any satisfaction. Then so this emphasizes the importance of satisfaction. So if one have satisfaction, then even though you may have a very little resources, but you are rich. So you are rich, as if your stomach is full, if you have satisfaction. So if you do not have satisfaction, even you may have the resources or wealth or possessions equal to these Indras, Brahmas, or even you own the 4 continents, then you are poor, as if your stomach is only half full.
내가 지지대 니면데 뭐 니문 당세 삼바 년바 제가 유르시 진이도와 뭐도 디디시아 있어.
So one is poor, as if your stomach is empty. Yeah, so it's better. So under the same outline, or next verse 176, first 2 lines, say, being unable to fulfill them and craving for objects of desire, afflictions and degenerations of attitude will arise.
다들 된다네. 내가 용수 조비와 내가 용수 조바시비 니바 메시드와 내가 용수 조바시비 니바 메시도 내가라 파파라 야 세반. 좋아. 세반에 내 차단소지 너무 원하는 거지. 해마도 좋아. 너무 원하는 거지. 마도 외쇼 단지제 상바 너무 원하는 거네. 다 수도 이 난거지 좋아. 저 간리지나마 지사마마 냠바치. 냠바치 받아 이 문제와 심바 마대와다 마치바 든지 차는 거예스. 와 마치바다 마대와 마가와 든지 차는 거래 마도 와 내가 이거 좋아해요 말했어. 와 내가 이거 잡아 하자고 때 이거 매기도 든지 하바세 받지 되와 이나 내가 간다 차단 배웠지만 차단 배는 너무 공화도 차단 배는 든지 너무 공화도 그래서 난가지 기초 연대 간디나마 난가지 연대 강가다만 양는 거예스. 와 난가지 연대 상황만 양는 거예스. 이 냐고 맞지. 그래서 이 맞대와 맞지바다 신지 막아봐. 리차로 그래서 뭐라
능가기 연된
능가지 연대서 연대 넘버까지 연대서 뭐라
being unable to fulfill them out of excessive craving for objects of desire, afflictions such as attachment and hatred, degenerations of virtuous attitudes, and only mental unhappiness will arise. So being unable to fulfill such craving or such desires, then out of excessive craving for objects of desire, then our attachment and hatred will arise, and because of which, then our virtuous attitudes or virtuous qualities will degenerate, or our wholesome qualities will degenerate, and we will only experience mental unhappiness.
lila chada godu badwa kanju kuna teme ba de pinso seme hise de lijun de ba ne peche kaye meja de kanju yu minzi ba de ne no ba sambo yise ni sadi chi ma di shen chi wa
Next outline is, therefore, it is appropriate to cultivate detachment from the body. Under this outline is next 2 lines of verse 176 and 177. Say, one will not know the exhaustions of success of not depending on anything. Therefore, I shall never allow an opportunity for the desires of the body to increase. Not holding to the attractive is a good possession.
다디 월데 다리라 차다 고리 바데 다 간사 간디지나로와 간사 간시 간디지 바이나 다 위롱지 꾸나 간다 때밤에바 위달랑지 가리나 때밤에바 내가 총시 초시 바와 안데 초시 들어와 초시 바 리지 요바이나 다디 피수도 인제 단지에 간다 들어와 나야 메세바 세메시 들어와 나야 롱지지 공바 저 미시바 롱지지 공바 저 미시바 리스 코드 초시 요바이나 초시 요바는 되지 리스 이제 데이터는 리지 된다와 랑 리지 된다 롱지다 니네 들어서 발로고와 리지 된다 롱지다 다 니네 들어서 라서 발라 SCP 데바데 네보 마테바이나스 와 CP 데바라 네보 마테바이나 데바데 간다 고네 콘데야 페도 그랬어 데바드와 내가 CP 세번 데바데 콘데 콘노 페도 그랬어 엔디긴 내가 CP가 많이 왔지 그랬어 데이스 바와 이비세발가 마요치 어디가 마요치 차브레스 간이사 강이 이 첫번째 이거 이거면 지바 이때 가리나 이동에 있는 거는 하자 세번만 배워 이동은 문지바 어디지 만지바 간이나 초시 제바이나 나 초시 등도 선보레스 이 초시 등도 초시에 선보레스 가나 변다 도시들이 초도 zambo스 와 zam보에서 조시는데 가다 zam보에서 초도 좀 받아 저 조시지야 zam보에서 와
So a person will not know the exhaustions of the good qualities of success, of having little desire and being satisfied without depending on any body or enjoyments. It will be impossible for him to be ever related to deprivations of resources. So if one have little desire and have satisfaction, then it will be impossible for him to relate to be ever related to the deprivations of resources. So means that it will be impossible for him to experience deprivations of resources, and they will not, and they also do not know the exhaustions of the good qualities of success. So means that their good qualities are inexhaustible. So therefore, if I do not rely on the antidote, then the desire that is craving for enjoyments for the sake of the body will increase. So if I do not apply antidotes, then a desire that is craving for enjoyments for the sake of the body will increase. So I shall never allow any opportunity for the craving towards objects of desire. Not holding to attractive things which the mind will become attached to is a good possession, the best of wealth. So here it says not holding to attractive things which the mind will become attached to means that one have little desire and one have satisfaction and do not hold on to those attractive things that our mind is attached to. Then this satisfaction is an excellent quality or is the best of wealth.
다들 요원이 내가 들어와 나 타마 타이 탑두히 뭐요 신주 주여자와 맞은 수는 세바 인들라 지식다 등지시 세나야나 시양리 달라 충분히 지시하세 이 지시야 공소 이제 지주여나 지휘 맞아 세미지세 어디 그거지 이치도
Next outline is the fault of immovability. Under this outline, there are two verses, 178 and 79. Say, in the end, it will turn to dust, unable to move. It is propelled by another. Why do I hold on to this terrible unclean form as self? Even when it is alive, it is better off that. Of what use is this machine to me? How is it different from a clod of earth and the like? Alas, why do I not dispel this pride?
다들 되는 데와 다 리는 데와 다 간다 리들 하장을 빼 제반지나 지금 리드 빼 잠보 간디 줘봐이나 세고 간다 리는 빼다 잠보 간디 줘봐이나 다 타마 타이 뭐지 뭐지 마도 시켜요 말했으려고라 리드 잠보 찌상지 줘봐이나 다 타마가 타이 타와 랑지 뭐라 뭐지 마도 시요 말했어 리 랑니 빼네 메요 와 랑니 메요 다 농기 빼 농기 세신지 신弄的升级呗，就把这小孩子连嘛的，让你没有啊，也是吧？你没有，弄的升级就把小孩子连死。对小孩来说，没障碍是吧？没障碍，通别说呢，你把没事吧？你把没事吧？对面那也是，但你把谁给要么赶紧的要的是，这里头的这些大多什么的也是，大多是是，我们地起来了是吧？你是什么？现在是忙不来的，而且大多是我们他的修那个技术上他们。
In the end, this body will turn to dust and finish there. So, however however good in however good, yeah. So no matter how good this body is, in the end, this body will turn to dust. Unable to move itself, it is propelled by another, the mind. So means that this body is unable to move itself. It is moved by the mind and also wind. So because of wind and mind, so because of wind and mind, so this body is able to move. So this body is unable to move itself, but it is propelled by the wind and the mind. So since the form of unclean aggregates, such as flesh and blood, is the source of many terrible fears, why do I hold on to this body as self? So since the form of unclean aggregates, such as this body. Yeah. So since this form is unclean, and then it's a source of many terrible fears. Yeah, you must explain. Yeah, it's a many terrible fears. Then this terrible fears is inexhaustible. It's a source of inexhaustible fears. Then why do I hold on to this body as self? If it were held as self, so if it refers to body, so if the body were held as self, then out of craving or due to craving, then it must experience the sufferings of hell. Therefore, even when it is alive, it is better off that. Of what use is this machine of the body to me? So machines here refers to the body. So of what use is this machine of the body to me? There is not the slightest purpose. So uh, apprehending this body as self due to craving, it serves no purpose. There is not the slightest purpose. It serves no purpose. It doesn't bring any benefits. So how is this benefit different from a motionless clod of earth and the like? Oh, since craving for the body is terrible, alas, why do I not dispel this pride of an inflated mind due to the body? So I should abandon pride in every way. So since it is purposeless, by holding this body as self out of craving, and it doesn't bring any benefits, thus I should dispel this pride of an inflated mind due to the body. Next outline is confusion about good and bad. Under this outline is verse 180, says, having accumulated suffering for no purpose because of honoring this body, of what use is attachment and anger? For these things, that is similar to a piece of wood. having accumulated much suffering for no purpose due to you, mind honoring and cherishing this body. So it means that because of you, a self-cherishing mind, because of you, a self-cherishing mind, then I hold on, I cherish this body out of craving. So, and through this, I accumulated many faults, and due to which, then I experienced much suffering. So it doesn't repay kindness, even though this body that produces much attachment and anger towards the agents of benefit and harm. So attachment towards the agents of benefit and anger towards the agents of harm. So even though this body is sustained, of what use is attachment to this body that is similar to a piece of wood? It is inappropriate. So therefore, we shouldn't. Therefore, it is inappropriate to cherish this body out of attachment.
또 친구들은
No,
더 그대로 더 근데 정말 샤기 소지 세저는 참에 해당 요리나 지대 대라 차버 시에지 어디 쇼로가 지면 뒤지로.
Next outline, under the same outline, verse 181 says, whether I am sustaining my body in this way, or whether it is being eaten by vultures and the like, if it has no attachment or hatred, why then am I so attached to it?
어다게 엔드답에 리드베 몽지지 배워 리드 몽지지 정바함 리 정바다 다 샤도 그소지 세자룬 로아 몽지지 정바함 샤다 그소지 세자룬 리 코로나 간다 펜바시나 데라 가와다 네바시나 데라 해당하다 군로가 개요 말이스 리제 이제 그거 리 개요 말이스 로아 다 들리 배봤다 그러니게 가르치네다 리들라 차바시바 리스 제바 리들 하자 제반 좀 받지스 제바 제리고 모두 리들 앞에 와 템바시바이나 가와치야 개요 말이스 들려바시나 구로 나와치야 개요 말이스 들리면서 가르치네 아니게 들라 차바시네 제반 좀 그랬어 이래노.
Whether I'm sustaining my body in this way with enjoyments, or whether it is being eaten by vultures and the like, and if the body itself has no attachment or hatred towards the agents of benefit and harm, so it means that body itself, body itself doesn't have this attachment, or it doesn't feel happy towards the agents of benefit, and it doesn't feel anger towards the agents of harm. So why then am I so attached to it? If the body itself doesn't have the attachment or hatred towards the agents of benefit and harm, so why then am I so attached to the body? So it is inappropriate to attach to this body with craving.
아니 이거 때문에 뭐 받으러 강시 미비 추와다 강시 때문에 뭐지로 가디 디니 시에면 다게 강시 나와 치스 어디는 쇼가 지금.
Next outline is confusion about praise and criticism. Under this outline is verse 182, says, if it knows no anger when derided and no pleasure when praised, for what purpose am I wearing myself out like this?
다 리들로 간다. 제 강식이 maybe 좋아다. 매버지나 좋아다. 인디 강식이 되버지나 고아치와 가와치와. 어떤 식으로 너무 해도 고아치와. 같이 때문에 되니 리랑이 해봐 마이너스 따때나 시그 말에 가와서 이게 지금 말을 메라타나고 나와다 군도지야 개요 말이스. 너 어떤 이 간다고 해서. 다이 다도 관계 되는 저건 차단기 보낼 때 내가 리테이 치를 때 나와단 배서 첨부 지스 나와단 배서 첨부 전에 그때 종야시 가르쳐 버리스 그 되면이스 또 어디로도 다 되는 시야 건가도 가서 리들 하장 제대다 자신 오게 돼 예선한 뒤에 다 되는 들으시는 거야 저기다 오는 거는 리들 간다 기체에 가서
So this verse is quite similar to the previous one. So here it says, if the body has no anger when derided or when criticized and due to some fault, and no pleasure when praised due to some good qualities, So if someone criticizes you because of some faults, then the body itself doesn't have anger. And if due to some good qualities, then one praise the body, then the body doesn't have pleasure as well, or doesn't feel happy. And the body itself knows no derision or knows no derision or praise. Then mind, for what purpose am I wearing myself out and putting so much? For what purpose am I wearing myself out by way of attachment and hatred? And why do I put in so much effort in taking care of this body or cherish this body? So it is purposeless. Next outline is dispelling of objection. Under this outline is 183. It says, opinion. Anyone who desires this body and I are friends. Response, since all desire their own bodies, why do I not find joy in theirs? Opinion, although the body itself does not know such here refers to doesn't know about good and bad, and anyone who desires this body of mind and makes it attractive and I are friends. So here it means that so anyone who desires this body of mine and makes it attractive and I are friends means that, so if this body is my friend, then whereby I find joy in it, then response, since all sentient beings desire their own bodies, and why do I not find joy in others' bodies? So having attachment for my own body and despising others' bodies is inappropriate. So if I so I desire this body and I regard this body as my friend, then I find joy in it. So this is their opinion. Then in response to this opinion, then it says, since all sentient beings also desire their own bodies, then why do I not find joy in others' body? So therefore, one shouldn't distinguish oneself from others and having attachment for my own bodies and despise others' body. Next outline is, craving to the body is the source of many faults, but one should guard it in order to take the essence of leisures and endowments. Under this outline, so I repeat the outline, craving to the body is the source of many faults, but one should guard it in order to take the essence of leisures and endowments. Under this outline is verse 184. It says, Therefore, in order to benefit migrating beings, I shall give away this body without any attachment. Although this has many faults, I should uphold it like a worker's tool.
那等到这人多，那到底理解了是吧？那理解了差不多没吧是吧？
其實係等於埋單，你了古巴你埋到位呢，就是等於
那是，看到当地理解了是吧？那当地理解了看到马车吧是吧？当地理解了马车吧，但如果看到把平板主义切的，平板主义切的话，那你莫没被理解怕当的，你莫没被理解怕引了当的，那你莫浪也是吧？你莫没被理解怕他，他引了把引把当。
你哋偏不切不切到？
你哋引了偏把当然，
先係偏不切到。
当然是接把是你莫没被理解了是吧？接把还真接把是你莫没被理解，他引了把当然是吧？让个理解差不多，但如果引了偏不切的，对理解把引把引了当然差不多也是理解吧？那当不对我对起了，当不引了当然差，那是你莫没理解。当然是这样的嘛，就是说，当不对起了，对是这样的嘛，现在。
因不没被捋。
但对了。 자신 지나 자신 제발한테 니 몸에 빌리레스 와 니 몸에
lu DNA先来当过咯。 Attachment to the body is inappropriate. Therefore, in order to benefit migrating beings, I shall give away this body without any attachment. So I shall give away this body without attachment. So in other words, is I shall give away this body that is without essence. So that is without essence due to cherishing or due to craving. So I shall give away this body to other sentient beings that I should give away this body that is without essence due to cherishing to other sentient beings.
他这样子，他理解了呗，他查些这嘛理解这那些大过来，他定了嘛不是不应着啥了吧？他的讲他的先把结果当嘛，他样子，他我了吃的嘛那个，他理解咋全部嘛样那个人的，他理解咋全部的，他样子哪几辈，大家就是在理解七八就电商嘛呗，理解呗咋全部我那理解呗，大家就是上那理解呗，就把这个大话就带来人唱了，还讲个来跑不吧？人唱了公布什么的，他的新加坡嘛讲那个效果对吧？ 다 히잡에 가르치고 있으나 아니 니는 다다 통내지 대단하야 대소샤 팅대이 소화는 제레스나 뭐뭐 시에세 어따때 치게 나지 정하지 예 치게 스스로야 때 개체고 야고 싶죠 치게 지고 땅가서 진중 뭐 마대 가서 땅가 나서 리우지만 뭐고 쉬고 로사로와 다 리데베 자나 시대 때가 pensa 단니 뭐 요막선 뭐고 쉬고 다 러선 로사로와 나 된다는 로야 강가 된디 로야 강가 된 중시 가리토를 다 마무지 휴사라 맞아 리들 하장을 빼나 젠지 휴ቸ부 휴지네 젠지 휴ቸ부 이제 그들라 제빠스네 근데 차세 대왕게 그생게 연어서 봤더니 소치 받아 라기라 몇바치 받아 로아 현다게 그냥 준호농시 초받아 리디 소아치도 다 된디 지나 된디 지오리 리디 버잖아 시다 간다 된디 치로 리디 그 자체모 지오리 리디 오면 자나 시차고 로아 자나 시차고 다 나시 많이 받다 시작부터 다 많이 제일 많이 하자 시죠 와 다 맞아 누가 들이야 그 강량 로사다 다 장사 와 로사래 맞아 리드 자나 시대 리드 쇼지 레슨 다 안다 소야도 야고 말했는데 뭐 이래서 다 뒤쳐봐 시고다 쳐봐 시고 다들 로사 들이다 제바 소나 하장 앞에 준호농 시라서 봐 초바다 꾸마꾸야다 나이 파마라서 봤더니 쏘라서 봐 내가 제바다 다 리드 소야 치더라 다 리지나 다 리드 문에 자나 시작고
So attachment to this body is inappropriate. So therefore, we should give away this body in order to give away this body to sentient beings in order to benefit them without any attachment. So it's just as it has been said in Ayadeva's 400 stanzas, says, although the body is seen like a foe, nevertheless it should be protected. By long sustaining a disciplined body, great merit is created. So this, especially this chapter 8, when it talks about this body is an enemy, and then we shouldn't protect this body, and etc. Then we should understand why does it say like that? So why does it say like the body should be seen as an enemy? Then why is it inappropriate to protect this body or to guard this body? So and and then come to this point, then he talks, he kind of like talking the opposite of it is, or this body is precious, and then this body is a good basis or a good support, and then this body with 8 leisures and 10 endowments, then it's very difficult to accomplish each and every leisures and endowments, and they are rare to find as well. So here, so therefore, we must understand that when it talks about we should see the body as enemy, and then this body has no essence, and it is inappropriate to guard this body, and etc. Then we should understand the reason behind this, which is if we were to guard this body out of self-cherishing, then because of this, then we harm others, harm oneself, and we steal others' resources, then we kill our parents and etc. So if this body is if we if body is used in this way, then really then this body is an enemy. So this verse in 400 stanzas. So although the body is seen like a foe, nevertheless it should be protected by long sustaining a disciplined body. Great merit is created. So this verse is also a very meaningful verse to memorize.
저 근데 아연대와 디스무도와 아연대와 로와 아연대와 간다 리드 자나신 통매지 있어와 자나신 통받에 이나야 리드 송고래 다음에 봐 송고래 정도와 송고래 있어와 송고야게 전세의 가르래 다 전세의 시고 송고가 전세 가지나 나서 수준자 때문에 리드 나서 수준자 때문에 리드 나서 강가 수준자 때문에 리드 잡이었다 나서 리드 강가게 리드 수준자 때문에 리드 잡어요
수진아 때문에
수준자 때문에 리드 소화된 가서 다 장족을 동받아 때문에 그래서 리드 장족을 동받아 되는데 리드와 다 자주심을 동받아 되는데 하면서 왜 라주를 동받아 되는데 그래서 되는데 다 chimbagina kanda nazo jandu dumba yore chanju simbe dumba yore ngabe dumba da de yore mege chibo tsuri da de yore so mege chibo tsuri la so da dumba tsu sama da de wa da dumba tsu de da de dumba da de da li de ju rimbo na so es kanda ju rimbo ba li de ro ju rimbo li de so es o tsuri da de de li de ma haja ju rimbo so es junse ju rimbo so la goba junse kare yore esna 다 덴디 리데 스리데 리데 지르고 초바이나 다 덴디 리 지르고 츠리 리 되게 땡도 답에 초는지 세노다 이히지 초니가베 마고사야 랍치고 사야게 리 되게 땡도 요레스 와 스리데 리 되게 땡도 리 되게 땡도 다초 랍치고 사야 세노다 이히지 초베 고네 공패도와 땡 내가 리띵 내가 내 상지시 고파 터지가게 다리 되게 땡도 요레스 자치고 디요레스 다 와, 제일 대가라, 리딩도 대가라, 상지지 공부 더 돼야 돼. 이거로 와. 오데 디스원상 당아서 리데베 바발라기 아야데 왔다 지바로 와. 자도 통고를 해야 되나 리데 송고를 해. 송고야기 글세 두서에서 아시오도 와.
So this verse in Ayadeva's 400 stanzas. So the first line it says, although the body is seen like a foe or like an enemy, so nevertheless it should be protected. So yeah, so even though this body is seen like an enemy, however, we should protect this body. Then the third line talks about the reason why we should protect this body or guard this body, because this body this disciplined body. So this disciplined body refers to the body that is endowed with this disciplined body refers to body endowed with a refuge vow, endowed with morality of abandoning 10 non-virtues, endowed with Bodhisattva vows, endowed with tantric vows, and if you are ordained, if you're an ordained, then you also possess ordained vows as well. So this disciplined body refers to a body endowed with such vows. So therefore, we should sustain this disciplined body for a long time. So this is the reason why we should guard this body. So because this is a disciplined body. So since this is a disciplined body, therefore we should sustain it for a long time. Then by sustaining this disciplined body for a long time, then since this body is the basis upon which two collections, the collections of merit and collections of wisdom, is accumulated. So, yeah, it's accumulated. Therefore, we should guard this body, and then we should sustain this body, and for a long time. And then great merit is created. So the last line talks about, so upon this disciplined body, then great merit is created. So it refers to the collections of two types of merits. Then great merit is created, and great merit is will increase more and more. And this body is precious, and it should be protected, because upon this body, then we can even achieve the state of enlightenment.
어, 나가서 리 자단 타야다 리디야 내가 송비야 자 첨부 임바 나 드니 치바 같이 지슈사이다 드니 지슈로와 그래서 치바 하고 같이 아주 리디 지당 가서 자단 타야 된다 간디에도와 리디 자단 타야다 리디 자단 타야 된다 가리토는 리디 자단 타야 레샤스 와 리디 제종 제단 거와 리디를 상당 당다 거야 리디 송야의 치도 내가 누자 가리려고 내가 정보 가리려고 나 딜라 상다 이치와 리드 소화치도 내가 두자들 내봐이나 당원의 리드 자다 소화치 자들와 다 리드 소화치도 내가 상보 간지 누구도 내가 자체가 자체고 간지 누구도 뭐 딜라타니 다 리드 내가 소비야 대체모이 어다 니체가 시고는 난 가도 따오디 겨워도 그 통화에 내가 열어와 배상선의 리드 야부 심지 상상 리드 배자나 시제스니 이제 로디 다 내가 로상데 간리토는 로고도
So we must understand the difference between these two, that in the context of a body should be seen as an enemy, and also the body should be seen, the body should be guarded. So if we do not understand the reason behind this, then literally it might these two might seem contradictory. So then we must understand why this body should be seen as a foe or as an enemy. So it depends on our way of thinking in relation to this body. So if for the sake of guarding this body, if we were to engage in negativities or negative actions, then this body should be seen as a foe, or should be seen as an enemy. And then this body is precious, and this body should be guarded. Then it means that if we use this body to engage in accomplishing others' welfare, engage in virtuous activities, then this body should be seen as precious and should be protected.
린들라 네바 마야스 다이다 이분이 휘자로와 네바 마야 단 지디마 나지로와 맞은 지디마네 다 신가라서 봐 내가 가리지나 내가 쿠쿠야가 봐 잘라 쿠사로와 잘라도 니가 치고 봐 쿠투야로와 당어서 수수 미기 지고 그러야 되다 다 신다나로 봐 그러야 다 니가 별로 가라 신다 지는 거 가서 뭐 도모라고 지 머리라고 지기나 다 맞지 자지야 저 민도부 지고 그냥 지마도 도모라 지마도 그도 말아. 어다 대나시 제발 이거 쓰고다. 와. 된디기 이제 봐나지 굳이 저도 아마서 신다라. 롱지 신다 내가 괜히 두스 지고요 레스가 신다 롱지고요 레스와 신다라 비지치네. 신다라 비지치하다 가서 그때에 니가 또 지모 봐. 그도야 데려와. 마무지 봐. 그도야지. 와 대가 나시 당가서 리더라 봐. 현대 자 친구 소야. 현대 뺐다 자 친구 줘야 돼. 이렇게 쳐다 리더스나. 와. 현대 자 친구 줘야 돼. 뭐 드릭치도 다 힘이 들리도 좀 샤오 그래서 다 된다 다른 지구기 된다 리스는 단 지구도 아 때때 가봐 제가 키워 된다 된다 도도시나 지구기 된다 딱 간다 리스는 대왕이 대현차 네 리들라 야보지나 대왕이 잡아패로 리들라 내가 조주지나 대라 공로다 동해 제로와 나 들리고도와 이 장고도와 리디게 배 차단이가든 레오리스 뭐라 리들라 때문에 차단이가든 배를 해서 난 배당 원해야 돼. 왜래서 와 리들라 하자 현장하고 배 제바존 대왕이 배 차바 쇼지패로 와 뭐네 나 리들라 배 미기 싫어게 쉬게 배 제말아서 받아 미셰바보라 때문에 봐시 나지 제말아서 받은 나지 리데 배 센터제네고 네바지모 요마오 상상하지 제마수민의 상상하지 로와 난가르마도 이게만 리간 도지 사네 리라 네바 중무 상상 리데 요마 때 등에 뭐 보여라 도지마 사나 리라베 케네다 리라 네바 요와 리기 배 네바 다시 달아서 받아 저 마이바 사도라 서바다 조아시 가디기나다 리라 네바 등에 체를 요 요라다 간다 뭐 리스완치 오다 드리소다 나가서다 리데 배 담시 따야게 된다다 리데 배 녀버스 럽치고 배 리기 때도 배 니바 자치고 두야게 신데 자치고 두야게 리데 송고야게 오다 좀마 치바시니 심바치 와
In dependence on the body, much of others' purpose will be established. Hence, although this body has many faults, I should uphold it for others' welfare, like a worker's tool of worldly beings to hold a chariot for the purpose of transporting the load. So here you say, use an example of workers' tools of worldly beings to hold a chariot for the purpose of transporting the load. So it's like a farm's work. Like they need to transport those load or those harvests to another place. So those harvests or crops, then they are very heavy. Then some are 50 kgs or 60 kgs or 100 kgs. So if one person is powerful, then most probably then he can only carry one load. And however, by using a chariot, then this chariot can carry many loads and for a long distance. So therefore, this body, then one should guard it if you use it for the welfare of others. This body, you should guard it if it's used for others' welfare. And this body should be seen as a foe if it is used for one's own welfare. So this is the summary of the explanations. So understand the difference between these two, seeing the body as enemy and versus one should guard this body. So if we were to use this body, or if we were to guard this body for our own welfare only, then guarding one's body really increases attachment and hatred. How so? Is if one benefits us or benefits this body, then our attachment towards this person who benefits us grows or arises. So if anyone harms this body, then we will regard that enemy. Then we will regard that person as enemy, and then anger arises towards that harmers. So, and besides sentient beings or external besides harmers who are sentient beings, and they are harmers, they are not sentient beings. For example, if we go to a place and then if stones or big rocks then fall down, and then it will harm the bodies as well, right? Then our hatred towards that inanimate things will also increases as well. So therefore, if this body is used for others' welfare, then this body should be guarded, should be protected. If this body is used for one's own welfare, then this body should be seen as an enemy.
자치고 야보지 마서바이나 니 리든 되게 되는가 최주야라 배 니바 첨보지다 야보 주트야지 이거면 대체령이 리들라 배 도로 야보지 많차야 와 많차와 도로 야보게 하다 칼라 포바가 사바이나 상들이 당 자 포바가 동바이나 와깝 간토바이나 되게 치도 칼라 지요 이제 사바야 내가 매지 사바이나 내가 상노 늘리는데 자체 뭔가서 최대한 지수고 야고 차다 네 되게 지고 상노 많이 벌어 예전에 상노 지난 가서 주쇼라게 너무 많아 주쇼라게 너무 많아 지난 가서 리를 손저 제발 지구에 주쇼라 상노 너무 많아 딱 가서 추위 상노 레우디 딱 리들에 네 뭐네 리게 자 첨부야 보지 몇 번이나 땡 보지 차 보지 몇 번이나 땡이 이게 되게 돌아가 최루야 그 거가 들어가는 두스 내가 두스 근데 손상이 리드페 자 첨부니 야 보지 차 보지 거 리기 돌아페 소소 노정체 냐네 같이는 제나 니가 여봐 니빠다 데마치 휴세 나머지 니 소고요 상 근데 상황 땅에 그래 사바이나 똥바이나 도로야고 지켜바이나 하고야고 지켜바이나 근데 상황 땅에 맞아 지쇼出来如果상황 이만 니 정말 양세야지 정말 휴세 좋아我决定结果觉得你要不加的你别说到差觉得你上他决定觉得啊你妈的取消了上头给要嘛决定了的评估了
Yeah, so and I've mentioned this many times before. So when we take care of this body, when we keep this body in a good conditions or in a healthy conditions, and then we shouldn't merely think that I take care of this body just for the health, just for health. We shouldn't think that it's just for health only. So if we only think to that extent, or it's just for health, then our eating eating a plate of food or drinking a cup of tea, then it will not become a class of dharma. It doesn't become a dharma class. These intentions or these attitudes doesn't become a class of dharma, because it doesn't become a dharma class. Then, however, so if you take care of this body, that I need to keep this body in a good shape or in good health in order to practice dharma. So if this body is not in good condition, if this body is not healthy, then I cannot accomplish dharma. So therefore, in order to practice dharma, then I take care of this body through putting on by giving it medicine, by providing it teas, drinks, and etc. Then these actions or these attitudes becomes a dharma class. So it turns into a dharma class. So these attitudes will turn into a dharma class if you use this body for the sake of practicing dharma. So if you only think that this body, I should take care of this body just for good health only, then it doesn't turn into a dharma class. So however, if you extend it further, so I need to take care of this body so that this body is in good health. When this body is in good health, so that I can practice. If this body is in good health, then I can practice dharma. So if you extend it further, then these attitudes or these intentions turn into a dharma class. Next outline is turning away the obstacles to virtue. Under this outline is verse 185, says, "So enough of this childish behavior. I shall follow in the footsteps of the skillful. Having recalled the advice concerning conscientiousness, I shall turn away sleep and lethargy."
지워서 때 나가서 뒤에 기내 좀 문디셔로 왔다 신지로도 뉴디다 간다 내세다로 내세단 대바라 세바 내세라서 버서 때 정말 봐다 스 강지기 때 제가 내가 제일 너무 그 봐서 뉴디 되는 거 근데 되게 좋지 때 줘봐게 다 단단보다 저런 아주 수도 지워 얘는 얘보다 단단보다 베다 신의 좀 문디셔 내세라서 봐 근데 너무 완전 뉴디를 다 대가도 조그래서 다 대상이 상샤 로지레와 다 대상이 지그래 단 상샤 다니 다기 니 란도라 키피 와 다티 타레스 데니 다기 란도라 키피 그 상지의 장주 세바나지 니 간디 아니 제군나 대타랑 제스 당니스 대랑 제스 당니와 그 기체나 간다 와요때 젬바다 시긴 때 와 젬바 시기 때네 그 니도 못 발라서 봐 당아서 시티에 맞서 와 다디마 아무 뒤지라지 와 아유 지기는 때 맞지 이세 지방을 맞길로 와 이 채널은 봐요 때네 젬바다 시기 때네 그냥이 제리 이세 뭐 대가지 샤와 이 시리 뭐
냠리 치긴 람나 가와요.
어
시딩 뇌라.
어딩은
맞아.
이거 이 채널로 와 당이 돼 간단히 음악을 줘봐 네버서 당이 다단들의 상차기 다 대세지 초그에 따라서 좋아 다 리스로 보시와 다 줘봐 대단히 리스 다 대단히 좋스 초그레스 당이 뒤 다단에서 들어와 다단에서 다 기비 온거 다 상제의 전주선 뭐 저기 양이 간디 제거나 그쪽에 제스 빼다네 제스 나와지 제니 있어 제스 나 제고 그래서 그 기체나 이 제스 나와 제발라 그 기체나 가서 봐야 돼요 와 바이오다 젬바다 희기 듣을 때는 냐네 지기 이세 나도 못 되시죠 와
So enough of this childish behavior that exerts itself in the discordant classes of karma abiding, such as desirous craving, covetousness, and harmful intent. So yeah, and harmful intent. So here, in order to abandon afflictions, then we must set this mind in equanimity. So if this mind is not set in equanimity, then we will not be able to abandon afflictions. So if this mind is not set in equanimity due to falling under the control of desirous craving, covetousness, and harmful intent, then one will not be able to abandon afflictions. So I shall follow in the footsteps of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who are skillful regarding what is to be adopted and what is to be discarded. So here it says, then it links to the first lines. It says, so enough of this childish behavior. So I will stop this childish behavior and I shall follow in the footsteps of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Then I will follow their practice with regard to what is to be adopted and what is to be discarded. And having recalled the advice concerning conscientiousness in regards to the qualities that are virtues, so I shall recall those advice about conscientiousness, mindfulness, and introspection with regard to those virtuous qualities or those virtuous quality, and then with effort I shall turn away and abandon the obstacles of calm abiding, such as sleep and lethargy.
我大听我说大看到上级的全球情报的这两个结巴呢是节省的呢这我说可以确实是那个保有的天把西金店呢但保有的天把西金店的가르기我都忙着去的这是呢但我说新年对了把这些给做的但基本上可以去了把这些给基本上不的但现在的上班那些的话但关键的记住啊但那些的送木的你送的话내발은 님바다 시 대선 당가 들어와 대선 당가 보대 나도 저 상마다 가다 지방가 보대다 아 게이 노 초비 총기 잡아나시니 바대 저도 하고 바다 첨바 지켰어 들어와 게이 노 초바나 다 게이 최두바나 빠지시잖아 알아 된다 들어와 게이 최두바나 빠지 진게기다 총기 잡아나시더랬어 와 와다 데레 다 데이 하고 비토네 데 템바시기 때문에 데 게이 샤와라 데 가다
So we must rely on conscientiousness mindfulness and introspection. So because so we must rely on consciousness, mindfulness, and introspection. So why do we need to rely on these? What do we need to? What do we need? From what do we need to prevent? What do we need to prevent us from falling? Yeah, yeah, prevent us from falling. Yeah. What do we need to prevent ourselves from falling into is these five obscurations or five hindrances, as taught in Nagarjuna's letter to a friend, says excitement and regret, which is the first hindrance or first fault, and the second one is harmful intent. The third one is lethargy and sleep, and the fourth one is aspiration for the desirable, and the fifth one is doubt. So these five are the five hindrances. Be aware that they are thieves who steal away the wealth of virtue. So these five hindrances are the five obstacles that prevent us from engaging in virtuous qualities. So they are the one that steals. They are the one who steal away the wealth of virtue. So and therefore we need to aware of this. We need to recognize these five hindrances, and we need to recognize these five hindrances who steal away or who steal away or who create obstacles to our virtuous practice of virtue.
다디오라 네볼라스게 똑지바데로와 자시 투지 체나다 리비세네 소자데 니세셰바 마메나 다기 등에 난타 신세 어디선가 어디만 디셔이.
Next outline is generating the power of exertion in antidotes. Generating the power of exertion in the antidotes. Under this outline is verse 186, says, just like the compassionate sons of the victor, I shall bear the rigors of what is appropriate. If I do not make a constant effort day and night, when will my suffering ever come to an end?
다 자시 투지 첨부 나가로와 지 나시다 니비기 또제네 다 간다 니비기 또제네 다 뒤진도로와 니비 또제네 다 간다 뒤진도 다 따바 배고래 그래서 제고래 다 된다 너도 들어와 니비 또제네 자시 첨부 나시로와 자시 투지 첨부 나시 다 간다 뒤진도 다 간다 신예서 두야라 다또 제고래서 니모와 뒤진도 되는 배가 제고래서 리진 배가 마지바이나 다게 등에 나 다시 나오더라. 이리서 티모 뭐 이거 하나. 내가 이 보내 메시지 적어라마다 가르세 같이 두고 말해서 간다. 다게 등에서 파 삼아 가디 타치고나 뒤따도 배 주마체 받지. 근데 이제 센스 바샤데서 가서 된다 데려도 센스 바샤데서 내세를 받지 너무도 내세를 받지 뒤진도와 뒤진도 배 condition doesn't check on yes. Indicating the same Majibaina, the dog doing someone doing like to and touching but to the Kalaka yes, and there were doing like 20 touching but then Timo and Timo Maiba, that old Malagua, Timo Maiba, she never wanted to check on yes, that the old Majiba.
Just like the compassionate sons of the victor, I shall bear the rigors of what is appropriate in generating the power of the antidotes. So I shall bear the rigors means that I shall bear the hardships of what is appropriate. I shall bear the necessary hardships in generating the power of the antidotes, just like those compassionate bodhisattvas. If I do not always make a constant effort day and night, when will my suffering ever come to an end? So my suffering will not come to an end if I do not always make a constant effort. So contemplating thus, I shall make effort to cultivate common and uncommon karma abiding. Next outline is single-pointedly setting in equipoise on virtuous objects of observation. Single-pointedly setting in equipoise on virtuous objects of observation. Under this outline is 187. Therefore, in order to dispel the obscurations, I shall withdraw my mind from wrong paths and constantly place it in equipoise upon the correct objects of observation.
어디 된다 들어와. 다 이제 되나 녀무다 희직 집과 타다 사이시 들어와. 다 녀무보다 이게 들어와. 녀무보다 희직 집과 타다 사이시도 이거다. 다 한도 제고래. 당가서 녀무다 희직니가 뽕발하니 발 한도 맞지봐. 다 희네 장법이 간다 뽕두고 말와. 뽕두고 말해서. 다들이 녀무가 희직 집과 바차도 제가 참아봐 사이치도 한도 두고래. 한도 제고래서. 와 한도 제거래 이 한도 대 제발라 또 당봉원죠 신의 두고래 마도 신의 마두나 야 한도 제고 그래서 와 당가서 놀르게 시고로 와 뜨고 마셔서 나는 있는 가서 신의 그러니까 뒤지를 지야 열심으로 와 나도 안 가서 놀루 순자 내 신의 두고래 내바다 한도 제발라 신의 두고래 다 신의 지게 로비랑 리비나도라서 다다 다시 공부 시작하러 신의 두고래 개다 주방하라서 봐요 다 주방하다 다 보이는고 이제 제가 내방아 지와 어떤 내방아서 제가 가서 다 나리까지 제가 실사를 왔다 내방아한테 나리까지 제가 내방아한테 다 보이는 거 이제 제가 돈에다 내방아서 빵고 했어 당가서 신이 두바라서 바지 제가 做차대로 와 뭐 담고 되치로
Therefore, in order to dispel all of the afflictive and knowledge obscurations, I need to generate special insight. So here it says that I need to generate special insight in order to dispel all afflictive and knowledge obscurations, right? So by come abiding alone, one cannot dispel these afflictive and knowledge obscurations. So therefore, one needs to generate special insight. And furthermore, since that needs to be preceded by the achievements of calm abiding, I shall withdraw my mind from all the wrong paths that hinder the generations of calm abiding, the conceptualizations of desire, and so forth, and by means of the 8 applications of abandonment, constantly place it in equipoise upon the correct objects of observation. So so here, the first line, it says that one needs to generate special insight in order to dispel both 2 obscurations. And in order to generate special insight, one needs to generate calm abiding first. So one needs to generate calm abiding first. So one needs to achieve calm abiding, and then later, then one independence on which then one generates a special insight. And this is the explanations according to the sutra. So and if one were to follow the explanations according to tantra, then calm abiding and special insight can be attained simultaneously. So here is in the context of following the explanations in the sutra. So one first generate calm abiding. First one attain calm abiding, and then upon which one generates a special insight. Then I shall withdraw my mind from all the wrong paths that hinder the generations of calm abiding. So the obstacles that prevents the generations of calm abidings are conceptualizations of desire and so forth. So here it refers to the 5 faults, and then one needs to generate the antidotes, which is 8 applications of abandonment, and then constantly place in equipoise upon the correct objects of observation.
당가서 보이 디지털 예방하다마 디디용에 되시기로와 등고마 시사에 간다 예방하되 간다 되게 띵인지 공부 조이신 가진 레로서 되와 띵인지 공부 조이신 가진 레로
띵진 공배
조이신 가진 레로서 보러와 띵인지 공부 조이신 가진 레로 다 띵인지 공부는 주비시 띵인지 공부 당하지 마와
가릴레로
가진 레로
가긴
레로 띵인지 공부라
공배체 ene 가긴 레로
가긴 레로 다 띵인지 공부는 주비시 다 띵인지 공부 당하지 마와 다 띵인지 모두 제대로 당하지 했는데 지금 뭐라
띵인진 공배체를
띵인진-
당보 대 띵인진 공배체
공부보다 띵인지라 공부 조이스 좋아
조이체
조이스 가진 레로와
그래서
조이스 가진 레로
니바 대 공배체로
공부는 주비시 띵인지 공부 당하지 마와 That when the Damajuna Dimara, Damajeba. That when she is she Gelora, never.
Somebody.
Or somebody.
And we she.
She Gelora, she get. That she bought the Shigishun is a name of the Majepa, Nevarwa. Shigishun is a name of the name of the Majepa. That she get a tiny semi, but a Tichito or Nemeche, the name of the Shima, the name of the Ayamara, in Nevarwa. But I never have taken it.
So we have talked about these 5 faults and 8 applications of abandonment in when we talk about when we teach Lamrim. Then here is only a brief indications or brief explanations on these 5 faults and 8 applications of abandonment. So regarding these 5 faults, the first one is laziness. So the laziness is the fault or is the unconducive conditions. These 5 faults, there is a specific timing or there is a specific situations that it relates to. So the first one is laziness. So laziness relates to the time when we relates to the preparatory stage, preparatory stage of cultivating meditative civilization. So here it refers to the beginning part or the preparation, the preparatory stage of cultivating meditative civilization. The first fault is laziness, and the second one is when one engages in the meditation, then one forgets the instructions. So forgetting the instructions is the second fault. So when one is engaging in the meditation, then one forgets the instructions. So forgetting the instructions is the second fault. And the third one is actual session. So it relates to the actual session. So during which laxity and excitement. So this laxity and excitement is the third fault. And fourth one is when laxity or excitement arises, then non-application. So we do not apply antidotes when laxity or excitement arises. Then this non-application is the fourth fault. And the last one is when it's free from laxity and excitement, then one applies antidote. So this application is the fifth fault. So I repeat, the first fault is laziness. So when at the preparatory stage of cultivating cultivating meditative civilization. And the second fault is forgetting the instruction. So when one engage in cultivation or meditation. And the third fault is laxity and excitement. So during the actual session. And the fourth one is non-application. So non-applications of antidote when laxity or excitement arises. And the last one is application. So applications of antidote when it's free from laxity and excitement. So the 8 applications of abandonment, in other words, is 8 antidotes to these 5 faults. So there are 4 antidotes to the first fault, which is laziness. So the first antidote is pliancy. So if one attains pliancy, then laziness will be overcome. And in order to generate pliancy, then one needs joyous effort. So this is the second antidote. So the first antidote is pliancy, and the second antidote is joyous effort. So in order to generate joyous effort, one needs joyous effort. And in order to generate joyous effort, one needs aspiration, striving for meditative civilization. So aspiration is the third antidote. So in order to generate joyous effort, one needs the aspiration, striving for meditative civilization. And in order to generate the aspiration striving for meditative civilization, then one needs to generate faith, captivating faith through seeing the good qualities of meditative civilization. So this is the fourth antidote, which is faith. So there are four antidotes. The first one is pliancy, and the second one is joyous effort, and the third one is aspiration, and the last one is faith.
네버심하기 되게 많이 보더라. 가지되다 네버심하기 간다. 가도 말하자고로. 어디 주시라면도.
맞아.
대신 뭐 회사로. 다 간다. 신이데 데로와 간다. 띵이지. 그 미나 문제 전방 가서 미나 제바다. 이게 네버 문제 전바 들어와. 다 신경 좀 또 비시경 가서 시기서 제로와. 이게 신경 좀 제로와. 신경 좀 니기스. 다 니기스 신경 들어와. 니기스 신경 요라. 내가 내뭐 다 신경 좀 또 비시경서 들어와. 신경 들어와. 다 신경들에 다 간다. 신경 중에서 내뭐 뭐 제바다 다 신경 좀 반드시 sem바 들어와. 반드시 sem바. 다 신경의 자네와. 다 신경의 자네 다 간다. 세트 좀 내뭐 반드시 받아 내봐라. 다 되게 내뭐데 다 신경의 자네 이제 됐으나도 좀 당는 거 봐. 아니. 다 되는 거만 어디 가는 데시 뭐 취사로 이제 제목은 좀 좋아.
他们得当用的为主。
当用。
但都米接吧对了，都米接吧，
因为他们들어
都米接吧。
他们都没说들어 님보다 잘 쓰러와. 신경의 잘 쓰는 거라 지지도 님이 쓰나. 님보다 뭐 해 봐들. 님보다 해 봐들. 님보다 해 봐. 님보다 해야 돼. 우리 말 쓰고라. 어떤 님보다 해야 마 당뇨 샤고 그래서 그러와. 자 저디고 당뇨 샤는 마다 님보다 해 봐 그래요.
So then there are 5 faults, right? So there are 4 antidotes to the first fault, which is laziness, and there are the remaining 4 antidotes. The remaining 4 antidotes are for the 4 remaining faults. So the second fault is forgetting the instructions. So forgetting the instructions, the antidote to it is mindfulness. Is mindfulness or not forgetting the objects of observations. Not forgetting the objects of observation and aspect. So the fourth antidote is mindfulness or not forgetting the objects of observation and aspect. And the third fault is laxity and excitement. So laxity and excitement, the antidote to it is introspection. So like introspection that recognizes the arisal of laxity and excitement. And the fourth fault is when laxity or excitement arises, one doesn't apply antidotes. So the antidote to this fault is application. So you apply antidotes when laxity or excitement arises. And the last one is when it's free from laxity and excitement, one applies antidotes. So the antidote to this fault is non-application. So when mind is abide single-pointedly, so at that time, so one only needs to place our mind naturally, or one needs to play our mind in the state of equanimity without applying any antidotes.
나도 나가서 나지 팀원 세워 다 나지 싫어 봐도 팀원 와서 신에 대우 신부 쓰라미네 나 신에 두두가 데려와 대우 신부 쓰라미네 맞아 팀원이 데려다 미네 신에 두야 데려와 난 팀원 뭐 이거 세워 가서 대다 데려 가다가 어베가 말라게다 그래서 좀 쉬어라 소리 쉬어라 나 디스온 자고 다인형마다 제일 미나나 세즈로 와 다인형마다 제일 미나나 세즈네 띵인지 두야의 턱이 들어와. 나게 놈보다 제군의 세수는 그 등이지 두바디 주모만이 해줘야 되러와. 신이 두바디. 나게 놈보다 제군의 세수는 와. 세수는 그 등이지 두비. 턱 무슨 등이지 두야 신이 두야라. 주모만이 받으러와. 주모만이 받.
다신 양바당 제외 미남 심수 동야 대
다이 제바.
다신
나보다 제비 또 세수네 세수네 대신에 두야 돼.
대신에 들어가기 탑레베
신이 두야.
양나 도모 많이 배 신에 들어가기 탑
주모만 신이 두야 돼. 주모만 신이 두서더라. 주모만 많이 신고 좋아. 다 주모만 이거 주시래.
도모 왜 신에당 도모 많이 배 신에
이 두서.
신에 두츠
두서로.
맞아. Yep. So just previously it was a few lines. Yeah. So verse 186. Then it talks about common and uncommon come abiding. So the modes of accomplishing the common come abiding is as those non-Buddhists or those outsiders. So, for example, they accomplish come abiding through observing stones or stakes and etc. And this is the modes of accomplishing common come abiding. So the modes of accomplishing uncommon come abidings, and according to those Kamalashilas and etc. So master Kamalashila and etc. So the method for accomplishing uncommon come abiding is through holding the mind to the objects of observation and aspects of exchanging self and others, equalizing and exchanging self and others. So the method for accomplishing the uncommon come abiding is through holding the mind. Is through mind holding the objects of observation and aspect of equalizing and exchanging self and others. Yeah, so depending on come abiding and special insight, then one abandons the two obscurations together with their imprints. So the last outline is title of the chapter. It says the 8th chapter called Teaching on Concentration from Engaging in the Deeds of a Bodhisattva. And this is the commentary on the 8th chapter, the chapter called Teaching on Concentration from the explanations of engaging in the Bodhisattva Deeds called the Entrance for the Children of the Conquerors. So we complete the 8th chapter, and next class we are going to begin the 9th chapter. We conclude with dedication. We dedicate these roots of virtue to the flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellent happiness of all sentient beings. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to all upholders of Buddha Dharma, illustrated by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long, to have excellent health, and may all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all directions. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue especially to our beloved teacher, Gyaltsen Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May we meet the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche as soon as possible, and may Rinpoche's holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously without any obstacle. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to all world peace, and may excellent happiness prevail throughout the world. May wars, conflicts, disaster, natural disaster caused by four elements, diseases, and etc. be pacified immediately. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue, especially to those who pass away due to these conditions. May their negativities accumulated since taking less time be pacified immediately and quickly achieve the state of enlightenment.
到所去年所别给我的电脑路啊，共大康别让起码几岁罗上到毛一天别你玻璃都谁去说将就生就人波节马节发达地球是节发亚马没巴阳过年光多陪我说将别保卫其他节发当更多上坡地啊地心地地大分给接受大路节给我的大当节了都我懂你到啊人波节马节发当地球是节发亚马没巴阳过年光多陪我说只你到啊人波节马节发当地球是节发亚马没巴阳过年光多陪我说懂你理解什么就别让其他世界看见这个强那边莫定这叫做拉手啊的说给的路说今天看的偏的嘛对吧看的就会上北行个天说面定这叫做拉手啊的说都些人都说他们的把这些年让做多少就好也这个嘛的大家今天加油嘛列吧等等面包这边给来做用做做别土地人多你写到这边世界别完了那样没就随便国家就出面接着那么说啊的偏的嘛的就会国家也得那么有就话一等了几多真把这边我老百姓往前来一点嘛为他去这干这些假设那就对给老百姓路面点别样都啥的给上对去别多女接说光着也过也心肝的别当的话嘛的就为的接着说话等这叫做下边是的不都等